how many of you have certain times of the month when your insomnia is worse? Well, because hormones matter, right? So, time of the month. And then the other thing is, how many people, once they deliver, like delivery of a baby, when they deliver a baby, have trouble sleeping? Besides breastfeeding and the baby crying, how many of you had the insomnia start and really big sleep disruptions after you gave birth to a baby, right? I'm Dr. Maggie UMD, functional and holistic medicine physician and owner of Transform and my Hormone Masterclass. I'd like to take a deep dive into what is the underlying causes of insomnia. How do they tie with autoimmunity? How to tie it in with hormones, food, you name it. So what I'm going to do is, you guys know I love to teach. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So a couple things. Number one is that when you look at, this is the 5 pillars of Transform. This is the model that I came up with to turn around any disease, including autoimmune disease. And why this model works is because I am a 23-year practicing physician, and the last 14 years of my career has been as a functional medicine physician, which means I have had years and years and years and decades of training and experience in learning what are the root causes behind symptoms and how they tie together. So number one is that you guys know, all of you been in the group for a day knows that I am a hormone expert. So, and hormones is literally the holy grail that's missing in people dealing with autoimmunity. And why is because number one is that you guys will notice, some of you with insomnia who says this just recently started, or that you will notice that how many of you have certain times of the month when your insomnia is worse? Well, because hormones matter, right? So, time of the month. And then the other thing is, how many people, once they deliver, like delivery of a baby, when they deliver a baby, have trouble sleeping? Besides breastfeeding and the baby crying, how many of you had the insomnia start and really big sleep disruptions after you gave birth to a baby, right? So that's number two. Number three is around the age of 35 to 45 is a huge triggering time for women. And why is that? What ties it together is to show you that at the times of really big hormonal change, it really is a trigger for insomnia. So there's many hormones that are there to actually cause you to ovulate, to have a period every month, and you got estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, you got adrenal hormones, you got thyroid hormones, but there's also sleep hormones, which is melatonin. Melatonin is also a hormone. Okay, there are brain hormones, and not only is there melatonin, there is serotonin and dopamine, GABA. There are a ton of brain hormones. So don't take hormones lightly. And that's why for me, it's really important that in our program, Transform Autoimmune, you got to master your hormones. And once you master your hormones, insomnia becomes a breeze because we know hormone imbalance. And there's certain patterns of hormone imbalance that actually triggers autoimmunity and insomnia as well. So these symptoms are all caused by underlying hormone imbalance. So most importantly, number one is you got to get your hormones tested, and it's got to be the right test at the right time, which is why we send out saliva hormone testing when we do our program. Number two is you have to understand what the patterns are that's triggering the autoimmunity, right? And don't let the doctor tell you don't need it tested, and don't let a doctor tell you that there are no patterns and that your hormones fall in a normal range. I have yet to met someone who's been through our program, and I've worked with thousands of people over the years with autoimmunity. I've not met one of those people with normal hormones, but yet I would say 80% that were tested were told that their hormone levels were normal, which I'm going to tell you is BS because their doctor doesn't understand the pattern between these hormones. So it's not just the absolute value. Oh yeah, that progesterone is in the normal range. Hell no. It's what's the relationship of that progesterone to the estrogen, to the testosterone, to the adrenal hormones, to the thyroid hormones. What is that relationship? Is the pattern recognition. And that's what I love teaching people. We teach people what the patterns are in our main program, Transform Autoimmune Naturally. And we also teach these patterns. If all you have is hormone problems and you want to just deal with your hormones, we teach these hormone patterns in my Hormone Masterclass. So we have 2 programs that address what the patterns are. Number 3, why is this important is because once you know what the results are, what your patterns are, I love teaching people what the causes are so you can fix those patterns and balance your hormones. Does that make sense? Is this making sense to people that this got way worse because it was a period of a hormonal change for you? So yeah, insomnia is one of the big telltale signs that your hormones are really experiencing big changes right now. Alexandra says, doctors always told me I'm too young to get tested, which is I'm almost 35 BS. Okay. Anybody who's been through our program, some of you have had your children tested, your teenagers, your young adults tested. You tell me how important that education was.